implying that as you deal with things, the effects of the cosmos and your own dealings with one another, that the cosmos is dealing with the cosmos, and it's dealing also with how to make peace, how to explore and integrate with other life forms that have different agendas, that are on different accelerations of consciousness. So your scientists, your militaries that are in the know, they have come to realize that there are many dozens of different life forms that they have encountered in the heavens. This, of course, makes problems. And sometimes many of you wonder, someone asked the other night about when they announced it, it's all going to be fine. This is quite naive. Number one, it's not going to be fine, and number two, they have a really hard time announcing it. Why? Because they can't figure it out. They don't have a grip on it. It is a multidimensional experience. How do you explain a multidimensional phenomena to a linear thinking people? You follow this?
Mm-hmm.
So that is part of the problem of disclosing the presence of ETs, because it is not like the explorers getting across the oceans and landing on the shores of let's say new discovered land. It's always been there, but they thought they discovered it. And then the people, at first the stories where they could not see the ships because their eyes were not adjusted to something of that reality. And then the ship became more real, but it was a few ships, do you understand? And it solidified itself, and the people met in their minds and started exchanging. But literally, these people had a hard time recognizing and even seeing the ships. You are in the same phenomena with some of these beings, except it is not like a ship and then there it is, here we are, here's our hardware, see, we have food, we have beads, we have sails. Because these beings can move in and out of time. Some of them can move around dimensions. Some of them are shapeshifters, or they have such energy that they can mimic you. So how do you maintain, as a world leader, your power and your credibility when you can't explain something that is poking and prodding the people of Earth? Now, there are plenty of people who've had experience such as Jean Paul had. Paulina has talked about hers. Our vehicle has had paranormal experiences, and many of you have. And yet, in order to grasp the larger issues of the cosmos, it goes back to your DNA and your nervous system. They must be sort of rewired, reorganized, so that you start to see things in a different way. Then the explanations can come in. And again, back to some of the planetary disasters and literal problems, these things force you collectively to look at things in a new way. When you offer your prayers for humanity and yourself, you can put a kind word in, perhaps, that people do not have to be knocked so hard over the head to get their attention, that there can be a greater grace to people awakening. And if you can put this prayer into the Gulf and to all over the world, this is a powerful intention. Anything else, Garrett?
I just wondered if we're ever going to be invited out there.
You may be invited, you may be snatched. The question is, do you really want to go? And do you have the mind to go, and the body?
Well, I've said something for about 20 years as a joke. We every January, we come up with a New Year's resolution.
Yes.
And for about 20 years now, mine has been, I'm going to hijack a UFO, make them give me political asylum, and get the hell off this rock. But that's in tongue-in-cheek when I'm saying that.
But here's the thing. Your body does not know the difference if you are in tongue-in-cheek. When you say, I can't stand this, or wow, what a pain this is, your body hears the literal command. Do you follow this?
Okay.
And so many people have facetiously or with sarcasm or cynicism or jokingly set things into motion, and they did not understand that for them it was a joke, but the reality follows your commands. So we would advise you to be more mindful of what you are setting into motion. Be clearer, because you do not want to be whisked away in an abduction, and you are wishing it. You are wishing it. Do you understand?
Yeah.
And these beings do come. They take you. They know you're wide open, and you're calling out an invitation to them without clarity. Clarity, 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 clarity like a dream. Understand? You must be really, really clear. Questions, comments?
Please.
Yes.
Oh, this is Iris.
Iris, much louder, please.
Excuse me. Right before lunch, you had started into wars over Earth and an ancient quarantine.
Yes.
Yes.
And I would like more information about that, if you like.
All right. So how does that feel to you? Can any of you remember some of these events? The reason why something would be quarantined? Why would outside forces want to seal off who is on Earth? Obviously because they cause too much trouble, yes? Yes?
Yes.
Why do you quarantine an area? Because it is unsafe or unhealthy, yes?
Okay.
So there has been a certain quarantine in general terms. We called it a tyranny fence. Do you remember? We used different terms for it. It's the idea that we want you to imagine that somehow that the cosmic mind or the beings that were here got sealed off, and they had to go through a long series of initiations to regain their power, to regain it with dignity and grace. If you recall some of our works, we have suggested that many of you have come from different places in the cosmos, and that you have, like us, come from the future sometimes, and you have come here as systems busters. And you are not as stuck as other people are. In other words, you can have the wits about you to say, do I want to incarnate on Earth or not? And you have come in mass, in the millions, in the hundreds of millions around the planet. And you are here to come in and to help break the quarantine by proving that humanity is worthy and leaving a legacy for your co-humans to follow. A legacy of integrity and responsibility and a new brainwave frequency. So there's a little bit about the tyranny, and some would project that the giants helped get things sealed off, but we would say it was a series of events and misuse, complete misuse of energy. And the library is extraordinarily valuable. And there are those who love Earth and love the library and love their project. And they do not take kindly when beings come in here and just rape and pillage. And there are beings who are completely and totally invested in making certain that nothing happens to Earth. That the library and its ecosystem, to some degree, never loses its vitality. The numbers may diminish. Animals, plants, creatures, understand, often migrate out of a probable reality into another Earth that is not experiencing the same madness that you are. So it is possible to imagine that some versions of Earth have a quarantine or frequency control around them, and other versions of Earth that operate with value and higher consciousness do not. It is important to remember that many futures exist. They are not waiting for you to make them necessarily. They already exist. What you do is you add to them and you meet them by imagining what you want in the future. You think you have to imagine and create a future and then it is birthed around you. But there are viable, sustainable futures that are already in existence. And by your mind, by your intentions, you are drawn to the futures that you choose.